Welcome everyone. Welcome. I'm Isaac Umbras, and today we are back after a long break. We are back in Enthusia Professional Racing. It is good to see y'all today. Welcome Antivirus. How you doing? Hope you're well. Right now we get to drive the beautiful NA1 generation Honda NSX. Beautiful mid-engine V6 powered beast of a car. It just handles really well. It was one vehicle that Gordon, the designer of the McLaren F1, that one, you know, the at the time one of the fastest cars in the world. G drove it and was like, oh wow, this is really good. You know, it can hold even more power and everything. And Hana was like, nah, 300 horsepower is enough. But he bought one. And this is from an automotive designer. He drove a sports car, like a high-end like sports supercar, for almost 50,000 miles before he ended up selling it like almost a decade later. Like it was ridiculous. Like that is some very high praise from like one automotive designer to like a full company. That is cool stuff. And this beast is one of the first cars. So, for these first road cars to utilize an aluminum semi-monocoque chassis, which is really cool. And honestly, one of the early adopters of using aluminum for chassis design as well. And even today, it's still, you know, a very well-performing, very beautiful, very nice vehicle. But back at the time when it was first released, like it was, you know, it was seen as like the holy grail of Japanese supercars. You know, it had development done by Ayrton Senna. It had, you know, some of the best Honda engineers. It had, you know, a racing pedigree once they began entering it into the JGTC and other racing series and all that stuff. Like, it is a cool beast of a car. Synthetic oil burning. Welcome, Jordan. How you doing today? We got the NSX here. Absolutely beautiful beast. Chasing down an American supercar. And a totally not a Porsche, but kind of a Porsche. Roof. On Tsukuba. Oh gosh, big dive up the inside. You're gonna give me some space. Oh, with that V8, that supercharged V8 is gonna be pulling it away. Going down the straight. Vegetable oil burning. Canola oil burning. Olive oil burning. Gotta love this silliness in the team chat. In the team Discord server, all the craziness going on. Oh gosh. This 4GT is super slow through the corners. It can go a lot faster than it actually is. But because it's just got that massive V8 engine, it's difficult to pass. It's like trying to battle the Raider on Watkins Glen. Like, you think you get past and it just pulls ahead on the straight and you're like, oh, alrighty then, maybe next time. Porsche e-fuel burning. Alright. We got a chance maybe to catch up to the roof. Yes. Welcome Ford Shelby GT. How you be today? How are ya? Hope things are well. We're using all the track and hunting down this roof. Boxer 6 versus V6. Germany versus Japan. Engine in front of the rear axle or behind the rear axle. Which one makes for a better vehicle? And then we got this American brute behind us. Liquid moly burning. Everything's burning. My world's on fire. How about yours? Oh, he tried to do a pro gamer move. But I'm gonna do a pro gamer move on him as well. WD-40 button. When you've used up the full can of WD-40 on a bolt, and you decided, you know what, it can't be seized if it's liquid. So then you get the flame, then you get the torch, or the induction heater. So you smell burning WD-40. Ah, the best. The nostalgia from that smell. Probably wasn't good being exposed to that so much, but you know, it was fun. Oh my gosh. I need to get past this thing. If I can get past it and get a better run out of that final tight hairpin, I should be able to maintain my lead, because I'm fastening it through the corners, especially here. There we go. Oh gosh. I got one more lap then to get that pass done. One of the most amusing jokes in TV history has to be Hank Hill using a can of WD-40 to open up the regular size can of Yes. Oh my gosh, King of the Hill. If you've never seen King of the Hill, I highly recommend it. It's a genuinely good show, even to this day. Like, it's an older show, but it's funny. You got Boomhauer, dang old Boomhauer, know what I was talking about, and all that dang old stuff, man. You know. And then you got Dale Gribble. May his voice actor rest in peace. But holy cow, like they were just super fun. And like, yeah, they were, you know, kind of a little bit of a play on, like, you know, your stereotypical kind of like southern rednecks and everything. Even Bill and Hank were, you know, kind of, you know, little bit of, you know, kind of a teasing on that stereotype, but different like aspects of that stereotype. But it was just genuinely fun, and it was just genuinely good show. Like, it's basically the redneck. I'd honestly say it's probably like the redneck Boondocks, which is also a really good show. Definitely recommend checking out the Boondocks as well. That is good stuff too. Because it's just really fun. God damn it, Isaac, this gosh darn. Oh, dang it, Bobby. This gosh darn push on left. Gotta try to dive bomb into the last corner. Look, it's okay to dive bomb them when they're AI, because they don't have feelings. And because they back out like a bunch of, you know, like a bunch of soy boys. Or something. Oh, not enough points to upgrade the car. But we did get a win. We got a dub. Which is exactly what I wanted. Oh, I love driving the NSX though. At least the first generation version. It just handles like a dream. It is an absolute beauty of a car. It's really cool. So it's weird how old it is as well. Like, you look at it and you're like, okay, yeah, it's probably still a 90s car because, you know, you had the pop-up headlights. But like, it was created during like the early 90s. Like the prototype was shown, I believe, in like 89 or 90 at Chicago. Was like when it was like the prototype was first unveiled. Like, it was crazy. Just how, you know, far back in, you know, the 90s it was, you know, showcase and all that stuff. And then you got, you know, some model updates and refreshes. Like, I believe they added, I think it was 95 when they added the target top. And you kind of see a little bit of that seam right there. So this, this version, the Type S that we're currently driving, is one of the later model NA1 chassis cars with the pop-up headlights. Now, I think this one still uses the 3-liter exactly. Have I played Street Racing Syndicate before? I have not. I want to though. I've seen it on Steam as well. And I wonder how well the PC version works. That'd be kind of a fun game to stream. Maybe. It looks like a fun game. It kind of almost reminds me of like almost Juiced, but not quite Juiced. Hello, welcome Mr. Midnights. How have things been for ya? How do be the do? Oh gosh, easy through the twisties. I've got this set up to be right on like the knife's edge of traction, and the rear wants to kind of come around just a little bit with a little careful application of throttle and brakes. I can you know maintain it for the most part. Did I know most wanted 2012 came out on the Wii U? Yeah, I did actually. A friend of mine back in middle school, going into high school, he had a Wii U because he was a big Nintendo fan, but he also liked racing games, which was an interesting conundrum for him to have because after the GameCube, a lot of ports of other racing games to the Nintendo consoles weren't exactly great. But he did get Most Wanted in 2012 for the Wii U, and it was cool because there was 3 cars that were references to the Mario Kart cars. I believe it was the Aerial Atom, the Caterham, and the BAC Mono that were like in like hidden pipes around the city, and they were painted in the colors of, I think it was like Yoshi, Mario, and Peach or something like that. Like those green, red, and pink were the 3 different colors. Which one was which? I don't remember, but they were basically kind of like almost like a nod to Mario Kart in a way. Gamepad integration is really cool. I never had a chance to play it that much. Or at least if I did, I don't remember playing it that much. So how did they integrate the gamepad? What did they do for that? So I don't remember playing it much on the Wii U. Most of the time when I would visit his house, he was like, you know, finishing playing it or whatever. And I caught like the tail end of like, you know, him doing like a race or pursuit or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. But I never really got much of a chance to play it because, you know, it's a single play game. I mean, when you invite, you know, a friend over and all that stuff, usually you kind of want to do like couch co-op or something like that. Oh my gosh, this thing just handles like a dream. Yes. Oh my gosh. This thing is a beauty. Absolutely love my N6. Oh boy. Easy. Easy through the chicane. Alright. 153. Let's see if we can go faster. I know I was a little bit slow through the earlier sections. You can change the time of day, enable disable traffic, mess with cops, switch cars, and paint jobs. Change controls and lock. Oh, that is cool. So I guess you kind of could do like almost like a couch co-op or whatever. Changing the time of day is wild though. Can you imagine like you're just playing with a buddy or whatever, and some guy's like, hey, you know how like it's nighttime and you can see really well because of like, you know, your headlights and everything else is dark? Well, it's sunrise now. Have fun seeing traffic. Although disabling traffic on some of those speed challenges, has gotta be probably a godsend. Because holy moly, those and the ambush events were the bane of my existence. Those two were legitimately the bane of my existence. If you have 2 controllers, it's a co-driver mode. Oh, cool. Wonder why I never got a chance to do that then. That's really cool, actually. I wonder how frequently you could change the time of day as well. You could basically make it like, you know, like a rave almost. Noon, midnight, noon, midnight, noon, midnight, noon, midnight. Just back and forth throughout the day. That'd have been hilarious. Someone plays the game, they use the game. Oh my gosh! But the big thing is disabling the traffic though. With some of those like average speed challenges, with the way traffic was randomized, it made them very difficult. Because you're like, alright, you gotta take like a super precise line through there, and handling that's a little bit sloppy, shall we say, with the brake to drift. Around, you know, a bunch of tight blind turns. But whoopsie daisies, there's a car there, so you gotta react, but the car can't react in time. So it's gonna be interesting, I think, playing that on stream. I think that one is gonna be, that one's gonna be interesting. That one's gonna be interesting, I think. Like, the world itself was genuinely beautiful. Like, the Boston / New England inspired, you know, like, city and surrounding area with the, like, the industrial parts, but also the kind of more older architecture and some of, like, the brick roads and everything like that. Like, the city itself was genuinely beautiful. And I still remember a decent chunk of the map, including things like, you know, that massive park with the archway that you jump through, and the lighthouse you could drift around, and the twin rings you could launch your car off of into the parking garage. I think it's funny how Most Wanted on the Wii U has a disabled traffic option on the fly, but a game like Forza Horizon 5 though. Yeah. I do, because I've been seeing people online playing it and everything, and I watch other streams. The inner achievement hunter in me, I've tried to crush that urge a little bit. But the inner completionist / achievement hunter in me, like, takes a look at all those times where, like, random traffic ruins someone's, like, drift zone or speed zone challenge. And I'm just like, oh, that is, you know, like, that is horrible. That is dick programming. Well, even if you couldn't turn off the regular traffic, at least be able to turn off the driver tars and everything, so you at least get a little bit more predictable traffic patterns as opposed to other other AI racers doing AI beep boop things and causing chaos and all that stuff. That may be like the happy medium, is to at least have the traffic is ghosted in those. Oh, that's weird. I've seen, huh? I don't know then. Maybe it was one of the older. Maybe it was one of the older Forza Horizon games. I'm a little bit confused now. My apologies. Like, I could have sworn I've seen, you know, a decent amount of videos of, you know. It may have only been like a driver tire, so my mind is conflating the two. Has to have been. Okay, it may have been Forza Horizon 3 then. Why I saw a lot of those videos of people complaining about that. If that's the case, then GG on the developers for actually fixing that in the later Forza Horizon games. That is some good quality of life improvements. That people, is a good way to make sequels, is to have those types of quality of life improvements. Easy, there we go. Nice and smooth through the S's. Absolutely love the speed of this vehicle. Like, it's not all that powerful. Like, y'all all seen both the roof and the Ford GT out accelerating at one Tsukuba. But just the speed it is able to carry around the corners and the turn-in and everything. Like, it is a genuinely great vehicle. Very rapid shifts. Very solid, very smooth, if a little bit peaky power band. closer to the higher RPM range. Just listening to that C-Series engine sing. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love the NSX. I've seen a few of these IRL also at like different car shows, and oh my gosh, they look even better in person than they do in the video games. Like the kind of edgy, the edge styling, just how low to the ground they are. The sound, even for a V6, which usually isn't as well known for making, you know, the best exhaust notes, just sounds so good. Mr. One of You also has the ultimate speed pack pre-installed. Nice. Now which one is that one? I know that's one of the car DLCs. Was that the one that had the Lamborghini Aventador Speedster? I think that was the one that had the Lamborghini Aventador Speedster, the open cockpit one without the windshield. I think that was it. I'm trying to remember. I know there was, you had the movie cars. Oh, the one with the Hennessy Venom. I thought that one was called like Terminal. Maybe not. My mind may have my mind might be broken just a little bit. Just out of curiosity, the airport one. The airport one. What was like the most wanted car from that? Terminal Velocity was the airport DLC. Yeah. So the Hennessy Venom was in the ultimate speed. What was like the main, the most wanted car from Terminal Velocity? Was that the Porsche 9? No, Porsche 918 was base game one, I think. Oh, it was the 918. Okay. It was the 918. Nice. Yeah, okay. Gosh, the 918 is such a great vehicle. Back when like the holy trio, the holy trinity of hypercars, the 918 concept was the base game. Okay. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay, that is where the confusion was happening. That is where the confusion was going on. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that clarification, Mr. Midnight. You know, it's really cool though, how many. Yeah, the movie most wanted car was the GT500, the Gone in 60 Seconds car. That one also had the. That one was a personal favorite of mine, because out of the DB5, it had, I think, like the Dom's Charger. Need for Speed, yeah, the Need for Speed Hero most wanted car was the M3 GTR. That one was an okay pack. I wasn't a big fan of some of the liveries for like Eddie's Skyline and Rachel's Z. And ironically, having the modified cars, the pre-modified cars, didn't really fit the aesthetics of Most Wanted 2012 all that much. Ironically enough. With all the other, you know, sports and supercars and everything like that running around. It felt very, very strange. But I think my favorite of like the smaller DLC car packs was the movie car pack. Because you got James Bond's DB5. You got Dom's Charger, I think. You had Smokey and the Bandit's Trans Am. And then you had the GT500. He may have had like one more. Yeah, they were definitely a cool idea, and some of them were pretty good. Like, I remember there being a white and red, like, techno-inspired one on the Z. And that one was actually really nice, but some of them were kinda mid. What was another Aston Martin? Oh, it may have been the newer James Bond Aston Martin, the DB11. Was something like that. Yeah, I think that may have been what it was, because right around the modern era of the Bonds. But that DB5 though, I think that and the Impreza Cosworth were the two cars I ended up racking the most amount of playtime with, just because of I don't know, I just kind of vibe with them. I love the way the Cosworth Impreza sounded, and the DB5 is it's a genuinely gorgeous vehicle. You know, it just hits all the right notes of a 60s sports car. This one at 12 mobile was pretty solid. Oh, that's good. I never got a chance to play any of the Need for Speed mobile games. I know some of them are pretty good, but then others like No Limits. No Limits I heard was like lambasted like crazy because of all the microtransactions and everything, and all the daily, you know, limits and all that stuff. Ironically, it had the most limits of, oh, you need to buy this pack in order to install this body modification. Oh, you ran out of fuel for the day. Oh, now you can't buy this car unless you buy your premium currency. It's still available. Ooh. It might be something worth checking out and playing off stream. Just for funsies. Oh gosh. I gotta be a little bit careful through there. Because holy moly. $5. I mean, it'll still be kind of fun for, like, you know, the nostalgia factor and everything. I don't know, I've never really been that big on mobile games and everything. Usually, if I was away from like my consoles and all that stuff, I was usually like, you know, doing stuff and everything. So I was like, never really had much downtime away from home to like just be like, you know what, I'm gonna play games on my phone. I don't want a 12 remaster. Honestly, the one I want to see remastered the most of all the Need for Speeds, and this is coming from someone that loves like the Tuna era the most, but I would love to see a remaster of Hot Pursuit 2. Like full upscaling and everything, you know, higher density foliage and all that stuff, you know, rework the detail on the car models, that, you know, modern car sounds. That would be so good, because that one has so much potential to be like genuinely gorgeous, from like the desert vistas to, you know, the coastal, you know, the coastal beauty, seeing boats, you know, going, you know, in and out of the marina and the Mediterranean one. You know, I have like a little bit of extra like background features and all that stuff. That would be so cool. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the you know, the fact that the games from the PS3 era of gaming are, you know, starting to get remasters, are Mass Effects, are you know, the Hot Pursuit 2010 remaster was you know, a solid one, carrying all the DLC and everything. Imagine what content they could add. Oh, they could have it. They could take like the best parts of the PC version as well, where, you know, you weren't just limited to like one type of cop car per car class, but have like the full, you know, much larger cop car roster. That would be cool. Add in, you know, the idea of the mirrored versions of tracks to make things just a little, you know, keep things a little bit more varied as well. The two car models. Well, I mean, it was, you know, it was one of the first Need for Speeds on the PS2. One of the earlier games on the PS2 as well. You know, and it was very, you know, it was very primitive for the time. But it's still a really, really, really good game. Like, the gameplay is what matters the most out of all. It's like, you look at Enthusia. The vehicles handle beautifully, but the graphics and everything are, let's be honest, it's the kind of mid. But it's the driving and the wheel-to-wheel racing is genuinely fun in this game, which is why I love it so much. I want to stiffen the rear just a little bit. Want just a little bit more front-end bites. Give me a little more acceleration, and I want, whoa. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. I don't need full locked rear. I don't want full locked rear. Ooh, we got options, we got choices. I want to make a virgin Forza Motorsport versus Chad Gran Turismo 4 meme. Honestly, you can do a virgin Gran Turismo 7 versus Chad Gran Turismo 4, and the meme would still, you know, hit the nail on the head probably. Gosh, what happened to those two? They used to be like genuinely like good games and everything, like to the point where you got, you know, the major like fanboyism and everything, but people would still genuinely love both. It's gonna. The car models are decent enough. I mean, for a 2005 game, like it is quite solid, but like it's still a little bit rough around the edges. You can see they kind of used a lot of bloom to hide some of the imperfections. The car models themselves definitely kind of lack a bit of that shine as well, to kind of minimize the need for high-end reflections and all that stuff. Like it definitely, the more matte look of the models definitely masks the some of the flaws in the model quality of the cars. You would like Forza Motorsport 23, the song of the launch either shows or bots. I mean, I could still understand why someone would like it, but if they do like it, like the earlier games in the franchise are even better for you then, because they're just that game, but better. Less bloats, more fun, more actual content. But yeah, no, it's just kind of sad though, because like it has, you know, especially like Gran Turismo 7, it has so much potential to be a great game, but just the people making these games kind of lost the plot. They forgot what made the older games so much fun. It was, you know, the freedom, the ability to kind of drive, you know, the slower cars, but actually have them be, you know, competitive in races and all that stuff. Even if they were, you know, spice picks and everything. It was the driving, it was, you know, all of that. And now Kaz is jerking himself off, creating a, oh my gosh, look at my virtual car museum. Oh, you want to actually race them? Too bad. And then Forza's eating glue in the corner doing Forza things. No matter how bad you think GT7 is, Forza Motorsport 23 is far worse. Yeah, I've seen things of like the penalty system and, you know, the car grinding and the lack of single player content and all that stuff. Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of that. Like, but both are genuinely, like, the modern implementation of those games is just genuinely terrible. What's in Gran Turismo? Yeah, like the racing series as a whole is still great, but you're better off going to like the earlier games in the series, I think. You know, Forza Motorsport 1 through 4, maybe 5, and again Gran Turismo 1 through 4 and maybe 5 as well. Polyphony could honestly kill turn 10 by putting a game. You can say that, but I mean, you still have the Horizon series, which doesn't really have too many good alternatives. I mean, maybe the Crew Motorfest and maybe the Need for Speed franchise, but even then, both of them are still very different in how not only they handle, but how they play and how they approach single and multiplayer content. So, that being said, they could honestly do a hurting. Oh shoot, no, not yeah. Sorry, it's what Playground Games, right? That makes Horizon. It's, that's the people that make Horizon, right? It's so weird to have multiple developers working under like a single IP. It's kind of like the Need for Speed franchise during like the 2010s, where everyone from Criterion is slightly mad to Black Box had their hand in the pile and everything. Also, not Forza Motorsport 5. Was it really? I've heard it was kind of. Maybe I was getting confused for 6 though. Okay. I may have been getting confused for 6. I'm trying to remember which one came out right around Gran Turismo 5. So I remember people saying that like it was a tough call between the two. It may have been 6 that came out during that time period. Forza Motorsport 6 was last good. Forza Motorsport. Yeah, I've heard 7 was really not that great. And then we have the reboot, which is I've seen enough of the reboot online to kind of make a little bit of an opinion on it already. Forza Motorsport 3 came out the year before GT5, and Forza Motorsport 4. Okay, gotcha. So that makes sense then. Okay. It's so weird how I don't know. I always keep thinking Forza Motorsport 4 and 3 are older than they actually are, but they were what the 360 era Forza games, right? Forza Motorsport 4 was. I kind of heard it was a step back from 6 in a lot of ways, especially in terms of like the single player content and career mode. Like the overall driving and everything was improved a bit, but the single player content was like stripped down a bit compared to 6. Was like the general like consensus I had heard at the time. The 7 I think released when I was in college, like 2015, 2016, somewhere around that time period. I think. When was Forza Motorsport 7's? Forza Motorsport 7 release date? 2017. Okay, yes, so still when I was in college. Yeah. So I remember the guys in the dorm next door, one of the years, had Forza Motorsport 7, and they were like, that's how I kind of got talking to them and everything about, you know, cars and all that stuff. I was like, oh yeah, you know, I play a lot of the Gran Turismo games and everything like that. You know, he saw, I think I had my door open, and he saw me playing like GT4. So that was back when I was trying to do like the 100%, like partially getting through the 100% completion of GT4. I was doing like the 1,000 miles championship. Welcome, Sprockets. How you doing today? We are driving rally cars. We have the beautiful Subaru Impreza. Absolutely love this beast. I love the backfire and turbo noises of it. Got the Boxer 4 up against this Peugeot 206. I'm trying to remember which year the Peugeot is. You can tell for the WRC version of the Peugeot. You can tell based off of the hood. Older versions have a hood with a little bit less of the I forget which one it is. But what the big difference between them is in the hood design. I think the 2002 and 2003 versions of the WRC Peugeot had a bit more openings for the for better air cooling on the engine. Wish nothing but the downfall for turn 10. If you saw us the pace. I mean, yeah, what they do is a little bit frustrating, to say the least. But well, that's understeer. That is major understeer. I don't know, and it's always sad seeing like a game studio go. Even if they weren't, you know, the greatest, or if they did a lot of, even if it wasn't the greatest in terms of, you know, content produced and everything, it's still kind of sad to see them go. I'd much rather see, like, you know, a reformation than a complete destruction of a studio. Like, for example, like, you see Motorsport Games. Motorsport Games is struggling, like, horrifically due to the fact that they tried to buy up a whole bunch of IPs and then couldn't really, you know, stick it in the market and everything with R Factor 2, a lot of the NASCAR games, and all that stuff having issues. But I'd much rather see them, you know, have like a reformation, or at the very least have like the studios they bought up and kind of, you know, own, or at least, you know, manage, you know, go into a different studio then. Maybe, but I always hope they can be redeemed. The motto is they're bringing back the Forza Motorsport 3 and 4. Nice! You can always count on the community to do cool things with the content and with older content. I've been absolutely loving like the different like mods and everything. I've been kind of perusing, you know, mods of like older games on PC and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, like it's surprising what people can do. Well, even like not even like old games on PC, but like for example like Gran Turismo 2, you have people making ignore that. You have you know, people making a full-on like updated campaign mode for Gran Turismo 2, and even Gran Turismo 4 is in the works as well. Pretender Network is also really cool. Yeah, I've heard a lot about them as well. Kind of what they restored a lot of like the servers for like Wii games and stuff like that, right? I'm trying to remember what else they've done, but like I've heard some good things about them. Wait, the servers for Project Gotham are up? Oh, that is cool. I know recently, semi-recently, people have managed to get the online beta of Gran Turismo 4 actually working again. Oh, the Wii U. Okay, Wii U and 3DS. Nice. So does that mean then that the Nintendo eShop for those games is like at least partially, for lack of a better word, spoofed into thinking that it's working still? 'Cause that'd be cool. It's very, very tricky to do. Oh my gosh, having the 3DS online capabilities back again. No, there are other apps for that. Okay. I wonder if there's a way to access the like 3DS's eShop and Wii U has new split. Oh, okay, so there is still ways to kind of access that online content and everything that would otherwise be lost forever. That's actually really cool. That is actually really, really cool. See, we need more people like that are kind of helping, you know, preserve the games and preserve like the online capabilities and all that stuff. Like we saw just recently, for those of you that kind of watching like the racing game news, the first crew, the servers went offline and there is no offline patch for that game anymore. And not only that, but you can't even access the game anymore either. Ubisoft basically completely revoked the license for people to even play that game. So if you had a bunch of stuff on there, too bad. If you wanted to try modding it or whatever to work offline, too bad. You have just rented a game for $60. Congratulations. It's basically down like any eShop thing. I mean, at that point, Nintendo's not going to be making any money from it. And I imagine charging money will result in some interesting legal conundrums, shall we say. Welcome, Blanca. Hope you're well. We have our wonderful Subaru rally car. Right now, we just got done racing the Honda NSX, getting that up to level 10, the maximum tuning level. And now we get to drive this beast. Little boxer 4 engine that could really great aero on the GD chassis and Pretza WRSC. A lot of front downforce, even for such a small splitter. This game is Enthusia Professional Racing. It is a simcade created by Konami in 2005 to compete with the big dogs of Forza Motorsport and, well, more so Gran Turismo, with this being a heavily Japanese car-focused simcade created by a Japanese developer and publisher that focuses on, you know, clean driving and circuit racing and all that stuff. But this one focuses a lot more on basically, whereas Gran Turismo you can buy a bunch of upgrades and kind of smoke the competition that way, Enthusia is very much a try to win races with the slowest car possible and see how many times you can do a David versus Goliath type of maneuver. Doesn't quite work as well with the rally cars because all the rally cars are about equal in terms of performance with each other, with the Subaru being roughly the fastest, but only because all the tracks are very tight and technical, and the Subaru's got the best maneuverability at high and low speeds, whereas the Evo struggles a lot because it has the least amount of aero, but the most straight line speed. Another bad thing about Forza Motorsport 23 is that it's online only. If you get banned, you're not. Oh, jeez. And with Microsoft being Microsoft, it's probably fairly easy to get banned, or, you know, especially if like you're a streamer or whatever, you can get a lot of people, you know, you can get that a lot of people, you know, false reporting you and all that stuff if they see, you know, your Steam ID or what have you. That's gotta be frustrating. Is this game multiplayer? Kind of. It's a PS2 era game, so there's no online multiplayer, but there is split screen competitive play, which is kind of fun. What happened to Seppi? Wait, did he got I'm trying to remember the video. My apologies. I watched it a bit after work, but I'm gonna have to try to like rewatch it so I can kind of like actually absorb the information on it. So I was listening to it while making dinner today. Did he get like mass reported? He had a game that he paid $100 for stolen. Yeah, that's the unfortunate nature of the online only games. Is at any time, for whatever reason, companies can basically just decide, oh, you pay for this content? Well, too bad, you don't get to access it anymore. And it's... I understand that, you know, games as a service is kind of here to stay. I understand that for some things, the games are basically designed to be kind of multiplayer only. You know, your MMOs, your things like your Helldivers and all that stuff. But in the same token, you know, like, you shouldn't have to have online only for a single player experience. That is absolute bull. Like, that's why I got really annoyed with Need for Speed Rivals and 2015 as well, because both of them are, well, especially 2015 doesn't have an offline mode. But Rally Car Racing is, oh yeah, no, they're going, you know, basically they're doing reckless driving, or what would be legally considered reckless driving on regular roads, while a bunch of crazy spectators on an embankment only a couple feet away cheering them on. It's amazing, but it is very scary. But I also love it for the craziness. Buying isn't owning, piracy isn't steal. As much as yeah, it's frustrating. You know, the developers shouldn't. Developers definitely need to be a lot more pro-consumer in order to get a better, shall we say, reputation with gamers, and to kind of regain that loyalty and that goodwill from gamers. So nowadays, whenever I see a new game, I'm always like just a little bit skeptical, just because more often than not, it's kind of not great. And because there's just so much older content as well, that, like, do I really want to pay $60 for a game that may be worse than a game I already own? Or in some cases, $70 or $80. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Nice, and on dirt roads. Well, yeah, but even dirt roads in certain areas are, you know, public roads. Like, it's not that they, you know, just plop down dirt and everything for them to race on. Like, no, those are roads like regular. I am not saying that out loud. But yes. But yeah, no, like those are still public roads, just very, very rural. Rural English is hard for the Baltimore rural roads and all that stuff, so they're just very, very small. I don't know, I try, basically, if I can purchase legitimately, I usually try to. But for things like games that are just no longer available on online stores, or games that were never released in the States, then it's like, alright, time to find an ISO, or time to find, you know, totally legitimate game key, or time to go on my abandonware, or what have you. But if I can buy it legitimately, I usually try to, just because I like supporting the local. Even if it's an older game, I like supporting the local, the retro game stores, because they do a lot of good stuff. You know, there's a retro game store not too far from where I live. It's not being sold, but yeah, I mean, it's the money's not going to developer anymore. But I still like supporting the local business, like the local retro game store, because one, they were the ones that saved my PlayStation 2, which, you know, I appreciate a lot. And two, I know a few of the people that work there. And so I enjoy kind of, you know, having the chats with them anyway. So maybe if you get caught. Me doing 85, 90 miles an hour on the freeway. Don't worry, there's no speed cameras yet. But yeah, no, I like abandonware and stuff like that. You know, that's probably closer to fair game. And it is good that people, you know, dedicated people keep those games alive and everything, with finding ways to either crack them, for them to, you know, still be enjoyed by people nowadays when the developer no longer can or is willing to sell them, or the publisher's no longer willing or able to sell them. Yeah. Don't. Yeah, it's called self-incriminating evidence. So don't do that. No methamphetamine production. Or if you do that, no admitting to methamphetamine production. Vim's lit. I've not used much of Vim's. My main one's been my abandonware for older games and everything that I don't have other means of accessing. But like even like older games on Steam and everything, if they are available to purchase, like I purchased flat out, you know, the flat out collection, everything, 1, 2, Ultimate Carnage, all of that, because one, it's still being sold on Steam, even if for like dirt cheap, and two, the developer is still around, so they get, you know, a little bit of the money, hopefully. Plus also, you know, I genuinely enjoy the flat out games. But like, yeah, if I can purchase it, legitimately, I usually try to. Finding old games isn't really. A lot of people not benefiting their resellers, and even though always be market physical. Yeah, that's the other reason I usually go to like the retro game store and everything, is because I like having the physical copy, especially like of the PS2 and PS1 games. Because I like having the you know, all the, for lack of better words, the feelies in the game. You know, the game manual. Some of them came with like maps or like additional content and everything in there. Survivor Pirate San Andreas. I mean, that is entirely up for you to decide. I am not going to tell you one way or the other. That is for you to determine whether you want to do that or not. Oh yeah, no, I definitely recommend either the OG PS2, or if it's still available on the older PlayStation stores, you might be able to get like the PlayStation 4 version, because that one had quite a few bug fixes, and a few little minor improvements as well that made it quite good, or at least a little bit better. A few less horrible bugs. If that version's on the PlayStation Store, I recommend that one as well, because depending on which version of the PS2 you get, there are a few game-breaking bugs in that one. Like, for example, the Zero's RC missions, and some of the earlier versions of those games, the plane didn't quite have enough fuel, or just barely had enough fuel. I heard there's a multiplayer mod for GTA. Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never done it at all, but I've heard, like, you know, there's even nowadays like servers and all that stuff as well with San Andreas. I might want to play that sometime, but I've never gotten the chance to. But it seems really cool. Fallout, Flat Out 1 and 2 and Ultimate Carnage, my beloved Steam games. Yes, and those are great because you can literally buy them for like the cost of a lunch nowadays. Like, it's super cheap, and you get a good couple hours worth of fun content, and they'll run on a potato as well. Like, they are genuinely, like, if you're looking to just get into PC gaming or want to, like, you know, have some games on your laptop or whatever, just to, you know, mess around with, the flat out games are basically like my go-to recommendation for like cheap, easy to pick up and play, fun to play games. Like, those are fun. Like, they can literally run on a potato, just because of how old how old, but how compatible they are. The reason I want to buy the definitive version is because it has Vice City and GT. I mean, as someone who's played all three of those, Vice City and 3 are genuinely really good games in their own right. It just, in my opinion, San Andreas is my personal favorite. I never like this stuff. Yeah, there's definitely a lot less to do in the sandbox, but they're still fun games. Like, especially like in terms of like the world and environment. Like, in terms of like the overall world and that gives like the best vibes. As much as I love San Andreas' map, Vice City is probably my favorite of the maps. Just because of one, just how vibrant it is, and two, because it's not too big. Like, there's not too much like open empty space where you just can't really do a whole lot. Which is one kind of gripe I have with San Andreas, is it does take a while to get anywhere in that world. I love owning the physical copies. Yeah, that's the other thing. I just have a preference for the physical versions of the games. Like, even here, like, I'm not sure if my mic is picking it up, but you can probably hear just a little bit of the disk drive sitting on top of my PC that I am running this game off of for the emulator, because I do have the physical copy of Enthusia. And oh my gosh, like the physical copy of Enthusia is really cool, because the book, the manual as well, like it goes into like quite a lot of detail about, you know, like driving mechanics and everything. Like, if you're used to racing sims, it's, you know, like racing 101 and everything. But the actual, like, you know, if you're not used to that and everything, it is really, really fun. You know, going through that and kind of like learning, like they did a really good job kind of explaining the driving mechanics and all that stuff. Gran Turismo 3 also had like a little bit of a blurb from Skip Barber Racing School as well. Which is really, really cool. I hate owning online because I can lose it due to Xbox being a... Yeah, if you only have a digital version, make sure you back it up and everything. I have the GTA 5 disc and I bought it for 30. Nice. That's good stuff, man. After I beat San Andreas, this GTA Liberty series next. Yes, but I'm gonna take a little bit of a break from GTA, and I'm gonna do the challenge run, slash punishment run of the first Midnight Club again, because I do want to replay. I've been itching to play the old Midnight Club again. So after I'm gonna try to 100% San Andreas, just because this is one of the ones I actually genuinely enjoy 100%ing. Or at least the ones I enjoy doing a lot of the side activities on. I want to attempt to do a 100% a no loss playthrough of the first Midnight Club game. And if I lose, I have to completely restart and do a punishment as well. So that may take a few streams, but that is going to be a lot of fun, kind of training myself for and seeing if I can't do that. And then afterwards, probably Liberty City Stories. Since you like old games, I could play Fallout 1 and 2. Those are the best. No, those ones have they're in the isometric view, right? Like they're almost in like the top down, or, you know, kind of not necessarily top down, but like almost like third person kind of. Like, it's not like the Fallout 3, New Vegas, or 4, where it's like either first person or third person shooter action RPG. Like those are more kind of a slower, almost strategy RPG type of game, right? Something like that. So I'll be honest, I've actually I don't think I have ever played a Bethesda RPG. Like, I've not played any of the Elder Scrolls. I don't think I've played any of the Fallout games either. I've watched a lot of people play it. I've seen a lot of, like, you know, little cutscenes here and there. It's like the... Okay, so it is kind of like a top-down, almost like isometric view thing. Where it's almost like basically Fallout, like post-apocalyptics meets like a D&D 3.5 type of, you know, battle system and everything. Like, Knights of the Old Republic almost, or something like that. Or, for modern things, it's kind of almost like Baldur's Gate 3. Where, you know, you kind of almost like in a third-person omniscient perspective, or third-person fly-on-the-wall perspective, seeing the characters interact. That could be a fun one. I might add them to the list of like the RPGs. I know I want to do some of the Mario RPGs first. But that might definitely be added to the list as well. Those PS2 games you play on the PC XT, you get those PS2 games on Amazon and Games Works. So I don't really use Amazon that much, but I do try to use. So there's a few different like retro game stores that I frequent. One of them is down in Towson, because that's not too far from where I work. And then there's one about a half hour north of me. And then there's one about an hour north of me as well. That's kind of the flea market. And I usually peruse those for like different retro games. But I usually like trying to play it on the physical media and everything. Plus also off stream, I do still play games on my actual IRL PS2. I got that fixed for a reason. It's because I still use that. I still love playing games on that. But if I can't play it, if the game's not working off of a disc, or like I've been searching and I just have not been able to find a game, then I will find a way to the 7 Seas and find an ISO file there. Dallas. Oh, bro, you were way off. I am nowhere near Dallas. Dallas is almost a 24-hour drive away from me. You have to survive in nuclear war with a bunch of... Yeah! I'm vaguely familiar with the general lore of Fallout and everything. But I've never actually played any of the Fallout games. So that may be one I take a look at. Maybe after like I do 1 or 2 Mario RPGs, because I do want to do that. One, because it's been forever since I played the original Super Mario, original Mario RPG, and 2, because I do want to try out some of like the Paper Mario or the Mario and Luigi games, because those are a lot of fun too. But regardless, though, Wednesday is probably going to be consistently my RPG weekly stream and everything, because it's fun. It's fun to kind of relax a bit and enjoy that stuff. Recommend Fallout 1. It's such a good game. Never played. Okay. Yeah, I might get that one to go. I gotta be really careful with like first and third person shooter games, especially first person games though, because I get really motion sick with those. It's weird. I can do, you know, the roughest of racing sims, Colin McRae's dirt games and all that stuff, Dirt Rally 1, Dirt Rally 2, you know, I can do, you know, ACC and like a field with a whole bunch of cars and everything. I'm gonna see. Alright. Take care, Blanca. You have a great night. Rest well. But, like, for some reason, first person shooters, like, just, I can't play them for that long. Like, I can maybe do, like, a max of, like, an hour before I gotta put it up because I just, it makes me feel ill. Which is fine when I'm playing it at my own pace. Like, I've played through the Cyberpunk 2077 game. I played through both Deus Ex. I've played through 3 of the Deus Ex games. The original one, Human Revolution, and then Mankind Divided. But again, I had to take those kind of at a much slower pace. And I had to be very proactive with, you know, making sure I didn't play them for too long because then I'll, you know, get dizzy and stuff. So yeah, that's a big the general gist. Which is also why I usually play like more of the turn-based RPGs and everything, like your Final Fantasies or like Chrono Trigger and all that stuff, because those ones, one, are a little bit slower paced, and two, are usually from a different perspective. So the camera's not moving around a whole bunch and everything, it's not shaking. For some reason it doesn't affect me with racing games, or like flight games and all that stuff. But first-person shooters, I think it's because of trying to focus on like one tiny little, like the reticle, or trying to like, you know, aid ADS and all that stuff, while moving at a rapid speed. The difference in movement that you see from like the world in front of the gun, or you know, the difference in movements you see from like the reticle versus like the speed for the person, makes it very disorienting. That's why I've never been that great at COD. During the COD, you know, hype and everything, during the PS3 era and everything, and everyone was playing that, I'm like, oh, that sounds like fun, I'll try to play it. And I was genuinely dog water. I was quite terrible at a lot of first-person shooters. I still am terrible at a lot of first-person shooters. Like, that's why you don't see me playing Helldivers on stream. It's because even though it's fun to mess around with friends and everything on it, I'm not good at it. I am not good at Helldivers. I'm great at launching stratagems. I'm great at kind of like the stealth aspect. When it comes to actually like doing the shooty bang bang, it's a little bit tricky. Welcome back, Antivirus. I'm doing pretty good today. I'm a little bit sleepy. Work was a little bit long today. Getting a few things sorted, some last minute changes on a PCB. One of the basic, you know, a control board. A few last minute changes there, but nothing too major right now. Just trying to get a few things out the door for the final pre-production stages for a certain product. But yeah, no, I'm doing all right. Just enjoying driving the Subaru Impreza. I like the Scarface game. I've not actually played the Scarface game. I've heard it's basically, if you like GTA Vice City, this is basically GTA Vice City, but kind of different. Different enough to kind of be, you know, its own, you know, not just a knockoff. But I have seen people like Color Shed's review on it. It seems pretty cool, honestly. I do want to play it sometime in the near future. But there's just so many games. That is the downside of being a streamer. Is everyone wants to see all, you know, all their favorite games and all that stuff. And same here, like there's so many games I want to play. And there's just not enough days in a week. There's not enough hours in a day to be able to do that. You know, at least not on stream and everything. So it gets a little bit tricky. Going through and trying to pick out, you know, which games you want to stream versus which games, you know, people are gonna want to watch you stream and everything. Occasionally I'll do like, you know, a space pick of like, you know, Chorokyu or like Rally Fusion or whatever. They're not too many people know about, but it's still like a fun game. Other times I do, you know, more well-known picks and everything, like your GTAs or your Need for Speeds and all that stuff. By the way, it is, you know, it's still fun. And while at the end of the day, the streamer does have a decent amount of control over what they pick, you know, they are still picking to, you know, entertain and vibe with an audience and everything. At least a little bit. Oh, gosh. I will say though, like, as much as this game doesn't quite hold the Gran Turismo 4 graphically, the environments in especially the off-road races are absolutely gorgeous. Like edge of the road here, seeing the waterfall, seeing like all the steep rock faces and all that stuff, going through the tunnels, or Mystic Cavern especially. Mystic Cavern is a very cool one with all the lighting effects and all that stuff. Like they did a really good job with the off-road tracks, especially. Like the on-road tracks, they're kind of hit and miss. Some of them are really good, some of them are kind of mid. Like Route de la Seine is, I'm not a big fan of that one. But then you have Lowen Searing, which is like, I've been searching. I haven't been able to find an ACC, an Assetto Corsa mod to add Lowen Searing, because I'd love to try that out on a modern sim. Like, it's very much a wider range of good and bad circuits compared to, like, the Gran Turismo games. But I definitely think the best circuits in Enthusia hit just a little bit harder than the best circuits in the Gran Turismo game. Oh, I don't know. Gran Turismo's got a few really good bangers throughout its history as well. Because you have Grand Valley, you got Apricot Hill, you've got Lago Maggiore. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. So you got some really solid tracks in Gran Turismo as well. I take that back. It's probably about 50-50 on who has the best tracks. Like how the Scarface game in the intro takes place in the final scene. Yeah, from what I heard, it's basically like an alternate timeline story of, all right, Tony Montana, he didn't die, but now it's a revenge story of trying to, you know, get back his, you know, lost empire and everything, which is really cool. Like it's definitely a series I do want to play on stream, alongside the Mafia games as well. I do want to play the Mafia games, but yeah, there's just so many. There's just so many games that are out there. Like it's gonna be a while before I get to like a lot of like, you know, consistent modern games, and even then I think I'm just gonna stay with a whole bunch of retro games, doing like different mods and everything. Just because I enjoy the older, the simplicity of the older games. Call me stuck in my ways or a boomer or whatever. But it's just fun. Like I might still, you know, play the modern stuff from time to time and everything. Like the older games are great too. But even if I do play a modern game, I definitely play a more modern game that kind of, you know, has the vibes, or has, you know, the simplicity of, you know, the older games. So probably more of like the indie racing game scene. Like I want to try to do this one game I saw on Steam, Super Wooden GP, and it's kind of like, It's kind of Gran Turismo, old Gran Turismo-esque, but a little bit more arcadey focused. I want to try that out on stream. I think that one's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope Crash is gonna be available on Amazon. Ooh. I mean, probably. There's a whole bunch of like retro games available on the Zon, on the Amazon. So it's entirely a possibility. There are private sellers selling those games. For how cheap or how expensive, that is an entirely different story. Because some games appreciate massively in price, to the point where they're worth even more now than they were back when they first released. Look at a lot of the older Pokemon games, and you can see that. Especially, for some reason, especially Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That one is like double the price on average compared to when it first released new. And it's just so strange. And across the line. There we go. Nice. Ooh, alright. Level 10. Level 10 Subaru. Alright, we do have a free slot to change our vehicle. So let's do that. Let's go to the compacts. And let's see what kind of cars we can find. Alright, second row is clear. Alright, so we have a full row of 6 cars. We got the Mazda Demio. Basically the Mazda 2 in the States. The Toyota Ist, or the Scion XA. Citroen Saxo, which is basically the same chassis and engine as the Peugeot 106, which is somewhere in here. I know we have it. The Mitsubishi Colt. Oh gosh, the smart car. Oh, please don't be the smart car. And then we have the Honda Civic. I'm hoping for the Civic. So let's get a nice. Let's get a random number generator pulled up. Let's get the display capture up. Oop. Alright, and from 1 to 6. 1 being the Mazda Demio, 6 being the Civic. Let's see what it generates. Bruh. Okay. That's fun. Oh. Why? Why is it making us pick the smart car? It's making us pick the smart car. Fat Red. Jack Black. We got Jack Black. Peaches, 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 peaches. Star Blue Metallic. I wonder if Jack Black owns a Jack Black Smart Cabrio. That'd be smart of him to do. Let's do it in this mushy pea green color, just for the extra memes. Can this thing even race? This thing might actually flip over. Look how tiny, look how narrow, as it turns around, look how narrow the wheels are. Like this it's gotta be like on like motorcycle tires or something. Oh no. Exactly, skull emoji. Give me a little bit of a little bit more acceleration. Gosh, this thing's gonna be. Oh boy. Thankfully, it'll be a quick car to level up. Yeah, no, there's... Okay. There may be an event we can be somewhat competitive in. Hopefully. Let's do the Autumn Mountain Challenge. We should be able to be... Yeah, we could be probably competitive here. But at the very least, we can at least try to fight for a podium. Oh, it's always fun crashing back down to earth when you go from the race car to this. Wow. All right. Or at least it's maneuverable. So it's honestly quicker around the corners than some of these guys. They're being very cautious around the corners, and that Aventime is slowing up them just a little bit. Oh my gosh, it actually does have a 5-speed transmission. And this is set towards acceleration, so I'm not, and even still we're struggling to get, you know, up to highway speed. Gosh, can you imagine? Could you imagine in real life taking a smart car on the highway? That has gotta be the most terrifying thing ever. Like, oh my word. You're so tiny. Your entire vehicle may be in like someone else's blind spot. You could probably run side by side with another smart car and not cross over the white line in your lane. The pull from a tractor trailer or like the crosswinds when going over a bridge, I've gotta feel absolutely terrifying. Like I used to drive a Geo Tracker, and that thing wasn't powerful. That thing was very lightweight. And that thing was terrifying going over bridges with. I couldn't imagine myself doing it in a smart car. Like, bruh. And the fact that the smart car uses premium gas as well. Like, jeez, okay. So you're not even saving money on gas because like you gotta spend more for the premium stuff. Big oof. I still see them every now and then in the States, more so in like urban areas than anywhere else. Like there's one that I see usually when heading into work every once in a while. It's a bright white one. It's one of the earlier ones as well, because it's got the 3-spoke rims. It's one of the earlier models. And it's just so comical seeing it. Smart 4 2-top speed be like, Turtle house. Small turtle house. I mean, props to Konami for actually having this in a game. It's probably one of the few games you actually get to race a Smart 4-2. But my word. This thing is a little bit not great. We're somehow winning. And this one race alone is probably enough to get like 3 or 4, like two or 3 upgrades probably. But no, this is... I mean, it's easy to not hit the walls in the little 4-2. It's going so small, we're not really like losing control of it. But, oh my gosh. It's just so tiny. It's just like my wife. She is also tiny. She is very tiny. But she's cute, so I love her. Alright. Through the chicane for the final time. 2 more corners to go. I don't think... Have we even reached 80 miles an hour? You know, reaching 100 miles an hour in this car has got to be scary. Both in-game and IRL because of this short wheelbase. I don't even know if it can reach 100 miles an hour IRL. Oh gosh, it's got a 6th gear? Okay. We can we can work with that. We can work with that. We can adjust the gear ratio more towards acceleration. And we may actually be able to make this thing like punch well above its weight. We might be able to do that. Let's try that actually. Let's see. Let's go to the gear ratio. Just a little bit more acceleration. Just a little bit more. Ooh. There's the Gallant GTO. The thing is, Mirage Crossing is a very top speed focused track. So 4.2 may not do all that well there. Let's try this one. Up against the Audi Quattro, Audi TT Roadster. Got some solid vehicles here. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see. Let us see if the upgrades, the transmission settings change will help us. It's so tiny. You know what's cool as well? Is the R1 Make club level racing series in Europe that use the smart car as the basis. You can probably find a few of them online on the YouTube. I know there's one I saw where they're racing at Brands Hatch Indy in the UK, and it's so funny seeing like a whole squad of these tiny little cars just go over paddock hill bends and then down into druids, so just nose to tail with one another. And just like, you know, if they just slide just a little bit wider and get into the dirt, that they are probably flipping. Like, it's comical, but it's kind of cool as well, because like you get some crazy close battles with like the slow cars. Like honestly, slow car racing produces some really great racing. Because everyone is trying to get like the last little tiny bit of speed out of the vehicle. That's why I like watching like a lot of the club level racing with like the Spec Racer Fords or the like the Spec Miatas and all that stuff, because oh my gosh, there's no aero on those cars, so they're not producing any dirty air for each other and anything. They're, you know, all equal or as close to equal as possible, so they're really close in performance. So it purely comes down to, you know, driver ability and racecraft, and so you get some really close nose to tail, side by side battles, and it is a blast. That's why honestly, that's why I recommend, you know, seeing which tracks are local to you and seeing what kind of club level events are hosted there, just so you get like a little bit of a taste of that stuff. Because holy moly, you get some cool battles, even when everyone's driving little crap wagons and stuff. Oh my gosh. So this thing is quick. This thing is quick on the back half of the circuit. But this front half, with this long straight, those vehicles are just absolutely overpowering us. And I don't think we are gaining time. I think we are actually losing time lap after lap. Like, that was, what, 7 seconds behind the Forester? Yeah, now we're 8 seconds behind. So yeah, we are losing time. At least in the first and final sector. But this second sector may be where we at least kind of gain up a little bit of time. Just because I do notice the higher speed corners, the smart car does a really good job at those. Yeah, we do gain a little bit of time through there. But we're still gonna be fourth, I think, unless there's a big mistake. Look at this thing. It's just so cute. Little, what? It's got like a 3-cylinder in it. Little turbocharged 3-cylinder. Producing like 60 horsepower. It's a tiny car. Oh, yeah, the Soar is in the lead now. So that means, one, they're not fighting, battling anymore, so they're all going to be going faster. And two, the Soar is just going to gap us all. The almost super in disguise. Yeah. Okay, they are much faster than us. So we put up a valiant effort. We kept our car mostly clean. That should allow us to get the upgrades needed to really fight some of the other races. Hopefully they give us races where the cars are a little bit equal in terms of pace. We managed to beat a few of the drivers. We managed to beat a few rivals. It's just so cute and tiny though. Oh my gosh. There we go. Give us the tires. We get some grippy boys. Alright, we have one free week, and then we gotta really start buckling down because there's a whole bunch of 600. We gotta start getting 600 or more points, or we're gonna really be having some difficulty. It makes it difficult when the odds are very much not in our favor. What am I up against? The TVR tomorrow. Thanks, game. Like, sometimes this game is just absolutely brutal with regards to, you know, how it treats the player and everything. Like, bruh, you're not even gonna give us a chance. Ooh. Maybe. We might actually have a shot at this one. Sukaba, yes. Welcome, Gabriel. How you doing? We are driving, one of the most powerful machines ever created. The absolute powerhouse that is the smart car. It's... just listen to the roar of that engine. As all the cars are streaming past us on the straight. And we gotta be a little bit careful because this car does not have traction control or stability control or anything like that. Fantastic, how about you? I see you driving the best Mercedes ever made. Ah, yes, 100% the best Mercedes. Oh, you're moving on a braking. Okay, I'm doing pretty good though. I'm a little bit sleepy today, just because work was a little bit hectic. But otherwise, I'm doing quite well, actually. I'm enjoying myself. I'm excited to play some Enthusia again after almost a month, or maybe a little more than a month of hiatus from that. But it is good to be back. We're actually doing surprisingly well in keeping up with the field. The wet weather. Bill Crowley and Poet 2020's made. I mean, that's not saying much. To be honest, though, I wouldn't mind actually trying out and trying to drive a smart car IRL. Not necessarily saying I'd want to own one, but just to see what the experience is like. Like, obviously it was kind of marketed as like an upmarket, like, subcompact car, which is a weird thing to do in America. It probably sold better in Europe and like Asia, but in the States it did not sell too well in the States. And it's just such a strange little car. Wouldn't mind owning a smart coupe for daily drive. The only big issue I have with it is that, at least from what I remember, and I may be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, the Ford 2, the Smart Ford 2, the engine, it needs premium. It needs premium gas, I think. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But I could have sworn that it needs either premium or at least the higher grade fuel, which at least partially offsets the money saved in fuel when driving it. So I'd rather get like a cheaper like subcompact or like an older like Civic or CRX or something like that. That's got a little bit more power and, you know, similar-ish fuel economy. And I wouldn't immediately die when when contacting a you know, minor amount of road debris. It is a cute little car though. I love how just narrow the rear tires, or just the tires in general are. They just like they're so narrow you could almost mistake them for just, oh, they just took like a motorcycle tire and fitted it on the car. It's just an interesting little bean. Oh no, in America I wouldn't want to have a cargo truck. Or a CUV or an SUV or what have you. Yeah. Trust me, I'm not a big fan of the big car for the sake of big car either. Like, I drive around in a Corolla and I'm happy with that, because it does exactly what I need it to do. No frills, great fuel economy. It you know, it has enough space for, you know, road trips and everything. I can, you know, go, you know, on a day trip with the bros and all that stuff. It's good. It's a good car. I love my Corolla. I want to try to keep it as long as possible. Especially, you know, just with the rise in car prices and everything. But also, you know, it's just a good vehicle that's just. I have a small pickup truck. It's an F650. You know, I didn't get the King Ranch F8522, named after the F-22 Raptor. Not to be confused with the SVT Raptor, which I own one of those too. Yeah, no, I'm not one for the big. Like, literally, the vehicles I have owned. It's the Corolla. It's my wife's Corolla, because I'm, you know, co-owner on that vehicle. And then I had the Geo Metro. Not Metro, Geo Tracker, sorry. I don't know why I said Metro, but the Geo Metro is a cute little bean as well. The Geo Tracker, which is basically like a tiny little four-wheel drive truck thing. I love it. I love that one so much. I was so sad to see it go. Like honestly, if I like ever get like garage space or like a place to work on cars and everything, I want to find Barbie car. Barbie car. Ow. Look, just because it's in a pastel color and has the 90s graphics on it and a vinyl soft top and only plays power pop hits from the 90s does not mean that a guy can't drive it. Yeah, it's I say the best. It's definitely got that like that 80s slash 90s vibe to it. Like I absolutely love it. I would own one. I would own one IRL today, and like use it as like my fun like beach trip car and everything. Cause that was so good on fuel, especially if you had the manual version. If you had the 6-shift version, oh my gosh, it was so good on fuel. But like it was a good little bean. That one treated me well. That one treated me well. I don't know. There's you know, I've been watching the Twitter and everything, or the Discord. I've been stalking, not necessarily stalking, but watching and following this one account that makes 3D printed like Hot Wheels and Cherokee cars that are like custom made and everything. I'm thinking about, one, I want to commission a car for my dad, one of his cars, his '69 Ford T-Bird. I want to commission him eventually to make my dad's old car when he was, you know, a young adult and everything. I follow them because he nice. Yes. But I may also, after I do that, if he opens commissions again, I may then afterwards get a little Cherokee version of a geo tracker, just for personal, just to have for myself. I want that. Yeah, he kind of rose to fame by creating all the Hot Wheels versions of the Midnight Club 2 cars. Yes, that is him. Printed Linder, I think is how you pronounce it. He's based out of Pennsylvania, so you know. I'm a Top Gear driving a Barbie-looking Suzuki Vitara. Officer Barbie. That was Hammond. That was Hammond that had that one, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that was Hammond that had that one. Clarkson had the Fiat Coupe. And James had some sort of sedan. I think he had the Toyota Soarer? Celsior? Something like that. But he had some sort of like Toyota or Lexus sedan. My mind is blanking on what exact model, but one of those. Got the convertible raise. But yeah, no, I honestly, there is so many different vehicles I love the commission from that guy. Like I've seen his work, and it's like it's improving as well. And I'm like, I want to commission that. There's so many cars I want to commission. James is ahead of his time. Yes. James May, for being Captain Slow, is very much ahead of his time. Because a lot of those like Japanese sedans are like starting to appreciate again, and are starting to get kind of valuable, and kind of you know, collectors vehicles. I mean, to be fair, the coupe, the Fiat Coupe, especially like the Turbo and the Turbo Plus models, also are now getting a cult following. And more, you know, starting to increase in value a little bit as well, starting to become collectors' vehicles. I honestly love the lines of the Fiat Coupe Turbo Plus. The look of that car, honestly, it looks really, really cool. The almost wedge shape with the kind of etched in slashes alongside the fenders. It's just a really cool looking vehicle, and it's got what, the turbocharged inline 5, I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's got a turbo inline 5 for the Turbo Plus. Yeah, it is a Pininfarina designed vehicle. So it kind of had that kind of edgy wedge design. But oh my gosh, the Pininfarina cars just look so good. Yeah, the Lancia Delta, you had, you know, so many Lamborghinis, the Stratos. Like, it's just good stuff. Also, damn, that Cobra. Like, we are getting into fights with it. But we can't quite. Like, we were catching it through the S's here and the chicanes. But then on the straight, it just pulls away with that massive Ford engine in there. So it's one of those, we can catch it, and then we're kind of stuck behind it because it's difficult to overtake. But then you get onto the straight, and it's just like, you just see it, it's just, and it's gone again. Ooh, alright, that's gonna slow it down a lot going into that corner. Yes! Oh, and then up wide. He got aggressive. Bye-bye. Oh boy, alright, gotta go on the defensive line here. Alright, they very... If you're smart, you can even outmaneuver a snake. I mean, to be fair, that is a very... You know, it's got the appropriate, error-appropriate tires for the snake. The 60s bias ply tires and everything, so it's, not particularly grippy. But yeah, the Cobra, it's basically just full throttle on the straights and then pray in the corners. That's how you kind of drive it in, Enthusia. It's very, very sketchy, and it'll murder you if you even look at it wrong. You gotta go through the corners like 1 gear higher than you think you should, and then try to leg it out and use the massive power of that Ford engine in there to get yourself going down the straights again. I might, but they're gonna pass me on the straights. Because the Mercedes is actually fairly quick on the corners. Yeah, they got me. Mercedes versus Mercedes battle. If we had a couple more laps, I think we may have actually been able to win that. Like, we were slowly catching that SL 500. But, yeah, no, they had the power. They had the power on the straights. Alright, there we go. We got some grippy boys. We made this thing even more lightweight. Somehow. Oh my gosh, this thing is just so adorable. It's a little bean. Nothing a Hayabusa swap can fix. Oh my gosh, a Hayabusa swap. I've seen those drag smart cars. Ironically, I see them more often at the drag strip than I do at on regular commuting, and they are terrifying. Like, I've seen one run like 11s in a fairly low powered tune, and I'm like, bruh, If you just even like get a little bit bent out of shape, that car is going to disintegrate. But it is so fun. You get to see the extended wheelbase of them as well. Hello there, Obama. How you doing today? We are driving the most based car ever. Oh gosh, understeer. Understeer. I played Java. Nice. Right now we're in Enthusia professional racing. We are in the little. It's losing speed on the uphill. We're in the little Smart 42, 60 horsepower, little tiny. Oh gosh. Little tiny bean of a car. Oh, come on, you little beautiful bean. Get into the suck. Give me the suck, Mercedes. There we go, around the outside. Like two trailer park girls. Through the S's. Alright, now we're in the twisty section. This is where we can actually build up a little bit of a gap. And we can try to give ourselves a bit of a buffer before the next long straight. So hopefully we can we might be able to win this. The vehicle itself is reaching a level of tune that it's actually able to win R2 level events. Maybe, if we're smart about it. For 16 minutes already got quite hard. So what do you need to do for acquiring hardware? I don't think I've played Java. So I'm not sure what you need to do for that. Oh my gosh, this thing though is so cute. You can just hear the engine struggling once you get it above highway speed. It's just like, oh buddy. Buddy, help. Help. You gotta mine Oh, Minecraft Java. Okay. Gotcha. I see now. Yeah, I remember playing Minecraft back on my laptop back in the day. They've added so much stuff since then. I haven't played in a good like 5 or 6 years, I think. It's been a long time since I've last done Minecraft. It'd be kind of fun to maybe do off stream a little bit. I'm not too sure what I do on stream, because on stream it's a very slow game. It's a relaxing game, it's a fun game, but it's definitely not one that's particularly great for like streaming, at least not, you know, fully. I really want to play Minecraft because the new Horizons. Ooh. Alright, what is the new Horizons mod? What is the new Horizons mod? I want to hear a little bit about this. As someone who's trying to get just a little bit into game modding and hear about, you know, see what can breathe new life into old games, give them a different kind of replayability factor and all that stuff. That could be makes the view distance insanely far without killing your people. Ooh. Okay. That's pretty cool. So it's basically like, you know, the extra. So it's basically an extra long draw distance mod. Nice. I know that there's been some mods that are like this one that turns Minecraft into like almost like an RPG type of game where you have like stats and everything. You can just spend your experience points on for killing monsters, which kind of affects like what you can craft and everything, which is cool. View distance alone makes it look like in a new game. It's very impressive. It seems very impressive. Being able to just completely go from go from, you know, only seeing, you know, about what, 50s, anywhere from 50 to 100 meters in front of you to what, probably about like 200, 300 now? That's pretty cool. It probably allows you to see like mobs and enemies and all that stuff earlier as well, which is nice. So you can, you know, get the oh my gosh, the sniper duel achievement was such a pain. That one, I did end up getting it, but the sniper duel achievement was probably the bane of my existence when achievement hunting in Minecraft. I know there's ways to cheese it by kind of like trapping the skeleton in a box and everything, but even still, it is a bear. It is a it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. That one and When Pigs Fly was also a fairly tricky one, early one, because back then you couldn't craft a saddle. Well, this was before you could craft. I'm not sure if you can craft a saddle now. We had to find a saddle in a chest. So you could have pigs, you could have carrots, you could have, you know, all the other stuff to make the things work. But if you didn't have a saddle, then you're kind of out of luck. So you had to make sure you found like a mob spawner in like a cave or whatever. Or something like that. You had to hope you got lucky and one spawn fairly close by to you. Because otherwise you would, or I think eventually they made it so you could buy stuff like explosions, enemy view distance, and okay. So it's literally just visual draw distance and stuff. Okay. It's still really cool though. But you can just but you install that, go up to like the top of like a really tall mountain or whatever, or like, you know, up into like the forested section where you can climb the trees with the vines. That would be cool. That would be really, really cool. Just look out over the like the vast expanse of the land. That'd be fun, actually. Also, damn, that Audi just immediately is just T-posing on us. Just default dancing on the corpse of the little bean. But we can corner faster than it. We can't accelerate faster than it, but we can corner faster than it. We can brake later than it because it's a heavy car. So we have a shot. We do have a shot at this. This might actually be the last race of the stream because it is getting late and I am starting to fade just a little bit. Because I had a long day at work today. A lot of things getting changed, little minor things, but they do add up, and so it's one of those very tricky things that, you know, it drains you a little bit. The Western Suzuki Cappuccino. Oh. Nah, the Suzuki Cappuccino is just a baby Miata. The Cappuccino is just a baby NB generation Miata. Just super cute little rounded Japanese convertible bean. That's so cute as well. Although my favorite of the Japanese K cars are the Mazda or AutoZam AZ ones. Those things with the gull-wing doors are my personal favorites. Oh gosh, understeer. I just love the look of those. Like they look like they would be fun little vehicles. But to be honest, I'd own all three of the ABCs of the bubble economy sport compact K cars. The Mazda AZ1, the Honda Beat, and the Suzuki Cappuccino. Those three little cute little beans. The smartest, the best mid-engine mass production Mercedes. I mean, I don't think there is any other mass-produced mid-engine Mercedes, which is strange when you think about it. Like, there have been mid-engine Mercedes models, but they've all been like the Halo cars. Mercedes just hasn't created a mid-engine, you know, mass-produced vehicle. They've only been like GT cars. That is strange to think about. And even then, like in terms of production numbers, Pagani, if we're going, you know, in terms of like engine source and everything, Pagani makes more mid-engine Mercedes than Mercedes does, which is hilarious and kind of sad, but also hilarious. Oh gosh, no, we're not gonna lose second. Come on, you little bean. Oh my gosh. Alright, we got second place there. That's a good bean. That is a very good bean. This is gonna level us up probably 1 or 2 clicks more. Only 1. Alright, so it's now the lightest it can be. It is very, very beautiful little bean. It served us well. With that being said, I apologize. I'm gonna be ending the stream just a little bit earlier than I normally do. Normally I go through 3 cars, but I am like physically fading fast. So I'm gonna be heading to bed. I'm gonna be ending the stream and heading to bed. I do hope you all enjoyed the stream though. I do hope you enjoyed yourselves and everything. I had a lot of fun getting back into Enthusia as well. It's been a lot of fun. Nice. Thank you for the stream. Oh yeah, I'll recover perfectly fine. It's just work drained me a little bit today. I'll be perfectly fine tomorrow morning. With that being said though, I'm gonna be ending the stream here. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what went well in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know what went poorly so I could fix that in the future. With that being said, I've been Isaac Umbras, and wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is for you, may it be a great time. And I will see you all in the next stream. Bye bye!